Be careful with who you choose to consume, because some fuckers start a YouTube channel when they go through a midlife crisis. But not me. I'm Trevor D, your guru, and you can come to me for advices. You see, I'm stomping through life with that winning mentality. That's why geezers like me at Trevor D don't experience anxiety. Yeah? Cognitive distortions are not for me, as geezers think inflexibly. Okay? Uncle Steve always said my old man was a philosophizer. Mum said he was a womanizer. Semantics, yeah, because there's no difference to me. Geezers abide by honour culture. In life, online, in their own mind. Denial of a fellow geezer's actions, yeah? Acknowledgement means switching on introspection, and I'm not peering under the hood for an inspection. That's why a geezer has an inflated sense of their own intelligence, and an I'll show you mentality develops the appropriate personality. And as your guru, I'm going to tell you that everything I present is truth, and here's added value from me to you. Don't be driven by purpose. It's not geezerly. I'm driven by coins. They need turning, see? I mean, look at me, yeah? I'm throwing darts of wisdom, but I'm more Jim Bowen's bullseye than Littler's sticky fingers, because my points are broadly spread. Sometimes you don't see the edge until you've spent time alone with us. For instance, you know, a geezer, yeah, it's got phobias. Some demographics of people worry us, and we're the only ones who can highlight the extent of their threat because we're the warriors. Less shields and axes, more Instagram or TikTok, perhaps some AI slop. Look, don't be a geezer trying too hard. It's cringe. For some, even more so than the word minge. Funny. A geezer doesn't listen to or read those other human beings. A geezer takes in more of the same. Voices and words are those amino acids, branch chain, the building blocks of information act like protein in the brain, shaping perspectives frame. And a geezer's all about gaining density on the same frame. So you can't wear me down because a geezer knows what he knows. There is no other way. Our thinking remains the same. And we look at young people with disdain, that nihilism and optimism, fizzing and popping in a rambunctious brain. Twats. And while we're on the subject of soft flaps, sensitive men are socially derided because their masculinity lacks dominance, poise, control. Their opinions lack that soul. You see, a geezer squashes the other side's underdogs. Just read the papers. We'll trample over immigrants to applaud politicians' capers, corporate tax waivers, hedge fund favours, clapping for the geezers deemed powerful and dominant. You see, the parasocial propaganda in media sizzles with insidious ideals. We no longer see the wealthiest as strangers. We'll even see other geezers help them out by becoming their campaigners. We buy the enemy effect, sold by the voices aligning with our personal agendas. Those geezers are clever copywriters, flogging the underdog story, fighting the good fight. Their copywriting skills, pulling the psychological strings in our minds, a sales tactic, predefined. They're speaking our language. You know, ideological enemies create investment opportunities. The world operates on sales. Money determines how we experience life, and we'd rather see bodies in the sea because it's been sold to me that those fuckers will take from my family. And what about the country? I love how a guru speaks. Their knowledge of sales psychology speaks to me, reminds me of a moment of clarity. Are you going to earn anything from doing that? No. What's the point? You stupid twat. You see, they're more susceptible to what we're pitching if they're more persistently upset by situations and circumstances out with their control. That mind state conflicts the brain. We need customers to remain disconnected from their childlike soul. Grow up, dickhead. That's how we evolve. Yeah. A geezer demands control. Anyway, does my job make the world any worse? That's not a question considered by a geezer. It's work, not a moral curse. How much of an average human's life is spent at work? Around a third. And it doesn't matter if your job is bashing out emails and balancing spreadsheets or cleaning drains of turds, because it's the wealthy 1% who decide what's important in our lives, what waves the markets ride, which news infiltrates timelines, you know? And internalised violence ravishes bodies and minds. We become a breeding ground for resentment. My tax money, my contribution. And those fuckers, they know the tides. And it's great to see how geezers are still driving policies the old school way. Rage punches down, you see. Anger masks a geezer emotionally. And we're so accustomed to the surge that some might say we've lost sight of what we need. But I'm your guru, see, and I'm here to tell you that you should only dream of money. It's all a geezer needs. And if your career-minded sensibilities are to benefit society, then fuck you. Yeah, there's more money in truck driving than there is in midwifery. That's not a swing at you geezers doing the driving. It's just the ruling class put more value on production and its delivery, not on what actually benefits and develops healthy, well-rounded human beings. Generally, you're earning shit if society benefits. That root runs beneath the surface, depleting morality, where we're disassociating from our collective needs. You see, a geezer separates from social responsibility, transfixed on what I want, what I need. The roots feeding the saplings of self-centered greed. Geezers like to criticise the lives of others. There's a sense of fulfilment which comes from commenting on mistakes and judgments of people that aren't us. We don't imagine living the life of another. That's why I like to blame people for their lack of willpower. I'm not going to consider what and who is working against them, you know, suppressing them, enabling them. For instance, we tell kids they're lacking self-control. Screen time's off the hook. The thumb didn't evolve to scroll. Yeah? There are multi-billion-dollar companies and corporations decimating human connection and children's brain development, yet we blame the kids. That's how a geezer lives. Oh, fuck. You see, I'm not going to question how I can take responsibility. There's nothing I can do except perhaps blame whoever's in front of me or blame society, you know, because there's nothing new. We're all just simmering in a human stew, money stirring the spoon. Big business said tobacco and alcohol were cool. Big business said eat the fast food. Big business said consume the news. Big business said stare at a screen. Big business said yes, we're finally there. Through screens, through screens, we can change how they care, rewiring brains, taking dopamine away, altering cognition, neuroplasticity, enabling entry, derailing human development, changing how we behave, encourage the arguments, which encourages the rage, encourage the distraction, which encourages the disconnection, encourage the vulnerabilities, which encourages the addiction. See, big business isn't about problem solving, it's about insolvency. Geezers don't care about other human beings because there's too many spreadsheets. See, I've heard we can change our relationship with technology, but it sounds like bullshit to me, you know? Because a geezer needs that Instagram feed, that gooning greed. There's comfort in the escape, an altered state, because geezers like to remain the same. Narratives and views unedited. This ain't the BBC News. When was the last time you peered inside the sack, carrying your beliefs, your opinions, those thought decorations, connecting neurons, highlighting those thinking loops, Fuck that. Oh, a geezer just consumes. After all, this is the age of anxiety, the age of parasocial intimacy, the age of marketing principles, the age of redundant critical thinking skills, the age of misinformation, the age of disinformation, the age of shrinkflation, the age of enshittification. You're toxic because you're male. That's the message of a grifting geezer, a fellow guru. Yeah. This is the age of psychosis, AI induced. The age of halitosis, bullshit infused. We're being manipulated. We'll receive what the ruling class want us to see. Manipulating schools, manipulating news, manipulating screens. They influence our beliefs. So take this from me, your guru, at Trevor D. The world needs more of those who can deep breathe. And preferably, they'll be advocates of matcha green tea, attendees of yoga retreats, conspirituality, and online PTs selling pyramid schemes, sold as revenue streams, because geezers don't follow dreams. Money. Yeah. It's all a geezer needs. So fuck loneliness and mental illness as money to be made. A geezer won't be the change. A geezer always thinks the same because we know that we're right. Don't look within because questions can cause irritations and acceptance could cause a crisis, you know. I'm Trevor D, your guru, yeah? Follow me for more advices. Cheers. Cut that size. It's a 6-bagger, yeah? Geezer out.